Let's go ahead and walk through the installation of the NetBeans IDE. Now, as I mentioned, you can download NetBeans with the JDK, and that same URL we used earlier to get the most recent JDK works for getting the most recent packaging of NetBeans and the JDK, so that same bit.ly PS JDK download. If you want to actually kind of pick which configuration of NetBeans you want, as opposed to getting the one that's got JDK built into it, you can go to the NetBeans.org website on their download page. You can actually pick out exactly what configuration of NetBeans you want. Okay, so let's go through the steps. Okay, so here we are in our browser. Let's go ahead and go to that bit.ly URL again. So we'll hit enter. So here on the Oracle download page, you see the big logo there that says NetBeans. It says NetBeans with JDK. So let's go ahead and go there and see what that looks like. So we'll click on that. And you'll notice here that right here in the center of the page, it actually says that here's the JDK with NetBeans, and it's got all the different platform installations. But look up to the right here, you'll see there's actually a link that just says NetBeans IDE. So let's take a look at that guy real quick. So I'm going to go to that page. That puts us over here on the NetBeans website itself, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And you can see there that these are all the different configurations that we can download for the different platforms, right? For just SC support, or if you want EE support as well, and other ones. So if you want to control that and pick that particular configuration, you can do that from here. What I'm going to do though is head back to the page we were on. And I'm going to go ahead and install NetBeans with the JDK. Now remember in the earlier demo, I had installed the JDK all by itself. Because that step was already done, I don't actually have to download this packaged version of it. I could actually just go get NetBeans by itself. So I'm going to go in here and go ahead and get the version for the current computer, which is again a 64-bit Windows, and I'll download that. So I have the download now, so let's go ahead and run that. All right, so we're in the installer. Let's go ahead and click through that. Now we have to accept the license for some of the tools here. So JUnit is a testing tool, and that gets installed as part of IDE. So we're just going to go ahead and accept that license. Click Next. Again, telling it where to install the JDK. So we'll say, yep, do that. And now it wants to know where to install NetBeans and some JDK support stuff for NetBeans. We'll go ahead and click Next on that. And the last one here is that, do you want to check for updates? And I leave that checked. So go ahead and click Install. All right, so our setup is complete. And the last thing it's asking us is just, do we want to go ahead and contribute statistics back into the project so they can see what we're using? All right, so I'm going to leave that box checked and say Finish. And I now have the NetBeans IDE installed. Now, one thing to be aware of is that the NetBeans installation is a fairly lengthy installation. I'm on a pretty new machine here, and it probably still took between 3 and 4 minutes for that install to run. So if it takes a few minutes to run, don't be worried about it. So let's go and fire up NetBeans now and see what it looks like. So go down here to my Windows. I'll just go down to where my programs are, scroll over here to my NetBeans. There's NetBeans, so let's go ahead and run that guy. And there we have it. We've got NetBeans installed and it's running for us. We'll actually build a program with it in the next module, but I just wanted to make sure it installed and ran correctly, and it does.